Got a bench press video here. We was working on form and explosiveness this day. I've been having a little problems keeping my elbows under the bar, so I kind of changed my setup. I usually kind of tried to crank my shoulder blades a little bit too much together in my upper back, and I think it just kind of threw me off. Whenever I'd come down, my elbows would be tucked in too much and not be under the bar, and I just had no power there. So I kind of changed how I set up there, and I was rolling up on my traps better and was just focusing on keeping my elbows under the bar more instead of trying to just squeeze my shoulder blades and so ridiculously tight that it had been screwing me up for a while. But I've tried to bench that way for a while. I don't really know why, but I did, and I like this setup a lot better. I'm going to be I'm anxious to put a little weight on the bar. Next week we'll add a little bit of weight. It'll be a rep week. Today was just trying to be explosive and have perfect form. I was getting pretty tight here. Got, like I said, rolling back on my traps real good. My elbows were staying under the bar. My bar path looks pretty good. You know, it ain't exactly straight up and down, but we kind of tried to focus on that, and I'm just gonna quit trying to worry about that. You know, and not everybody's gonna be able to have a perfect straight up and down path. Mine's gonna arch back. I got longer arms, and I think longer arm lifters are gonna kind of deal with that. So I think this setup is going to work for me here. I'm doing a 10-second pause for my last set. Just trying to stay tight on the bottom and be explosive. Pushing myself back into the bench and use my heels to kind of roll back on my traps and drive back and use the bar to push myself back into the bench. Here Joe's going. Joe needs to work on his tightness on his setup on bench and squat and a lot of the lifts here. As you can see, he's not got nearly a very tight arc there. Ain't got quite enough weight on his toes. You really got to get your weight. Grab your feet back behind you, get your weight on your toes, and just try to drive your heels into the ground. You ain't gonna be able to do it, but that's what you're trying to do, to try to get the weight up on your feet and back on your traps. And he'd have a lot more success if he would kind of get more on his traps. As you can see, a little shoulder rotation. The bar's traveling a little further than it has to. His shoulders kind of still travel up. They ain't staying kind of pinned back. Like I over-exaggerated. I kept mine pulled together. You want to keep them pinned back, but not like what I had been doing in the past. And Joe, you'd benefit a lot from getting a tighter arc, getting tighter from your setup. As you can see, when you unrack the bar, you're not really that tight. You know, we need to start practicing more with giving you a hand off. It's really a lot easier to keep your setup and stay tight. So taking the bar out of the rack, because it's real easy just to lose it all. As you can see, you are kind of losing it there. Ain't getting a lot of leg drive into it. You know, you just really need to work on tightness. You'll be a lot stronger if you do, and your lifts go a lot better. Here goes Steve. He had the same problem as me, elbows tracking way too far in on the bar, so I kind of tried to help him with what I tried to do to set up today that helped me, and his elbows were tracking under the bar a lot better and felt a lot more powerful. We both felt a lot more powerful. He likes it. Steve here is just getting back on track, but he looked pretty good. It looks like whenever he starts, he almost brings the bar out too far, as it looks like he's kind of tilted forward, or his forearms are kind of leaning forward just a little bit, so as you see right there, it just goes a little bit too far. Probably don't have to start quite that far out. Your arms will be a little straighter. You know, once you get some weight on the bar, it'll be hard to hold that out there like that. But if you'll notice, you start getting under the bar a little better on some of your second reps as we keep going here, and your elbows stay under, and it's a lot drive. You know, you drive back towards your head, but that's okay. Like that one was a pretty good rep. I think you're going to hit a couple pretty good ones on your second one here. Your elbows will be a lot more under the bar. Yeah, like right there. That's your pathway. Of course, we got to work on getting your lower body engaged and getting tight, you know, but so far we started at the top, and you can see your shoulders kind of traveling up too. You know, you keep them locked back, and you won't have to go up quite as far. If you watch your shoulders on some of these, they're not staying locked back. You're keeping kind of arched good, but keep those shoulders back and stay on those traps, and then once we can start getting your legs engaged and get you to roll back on your traps a little bit better. And here we'll finish the video with my mom on here doing her a little benching, and like I said, she's just starting. Been working with her a little bit, and I think this was a PR for her. I think she's got 55, 65 pounds on it. Good job.